Back to another episode of Vass Reacts, and we got Vinny 2 once again, the GOAT, my anime's newsletter, that's what I call him. Most overpowered anime swordsman, bro. I already know who's gonna be on the list, bro. I don't know if it's up to 10 people, but I already know Sasuke. Well, he's not really overpowered, but Sasuke, Zoro, Sasuke because I'm biased. Sasuke, Zoro, Levi, Gintama, Ichigo. No, wrong. Kenpachi. Yeah, Sasuke, Zoro, Kenpachi, Levi, Afro from Afro Samurai, and Kenshin. They my picks. I don't know if we might be on the same thing for the same list. But the people I pick, I feel like I know who might be on the list. Let's get to it. What is that word?
In the world of anime, weapons come aplenty, but none of them seem more common than the good old sword. But not all swordsmen are created equally. For today's list, we're going to be going over some of the most absurd and overpowered masters of the sword that the anime world has given us. And to add an extra challenge, I'll be straying away by default from all those isekai and light novel characters, because we know incomprehensibly overpowered characters are all the rage these days. So here we are, my gallery of some of the most overpowered swordsmen.
Come on, go with the list. I'm ready to see the damn list.
Let's open up with one of the OGs, Goemon.
I did not know who you were, sir. I apologize. Bro, so overpowered when he swung, they started playing a harp and a violin for the enemy. Damn. Is this his thing? Damn. Ain't no way that cut up from
exactly the first title that
bro, that cut up from his balls, bro. Ain't no way.
The topic shifts to overpowered characters, but can we take a step back and look at Goemon's insane feats? With Goemon, the show takes realism and throws it out the window in hilariously entertaining ways. I'm not just talking about one-man army moments. It showcases his skill, I'm sure. But what makes him overpowered is how his sword can just slice through anything. Literally. I mean, airplanes, cars, trucks, anything. Heck, even meteors and lightning are no match against his almighty Zantetsu. That's absurd in an entertaining, over-the-top way, if you ask me. Next up is another OG.
Come on, why you ain't show the follow? I don't like that.
It takes a monster of a man.
Okay, so he's from. Okay, so he's from Kenshin. I said Kenshin. I said
and mentor to the notorious Battosai, but that description doesn't exactly describe Hiko Seijuro,
I don't think that counts,
does it?
but he's
First
from
impressions
Kenshin.
Can be misleading, and while he does look cool and powerful, Seijuro doesn't seem to be an absolute top-tier fighter. Well, he's strong, but to the point where his involvement would have quickly ended the whole Shishio fiasco. But he is apparently that, and there's no one in Rurouni Kenshin who can even come close to this guy. It's just a shame that he doesn't have a lot of chances to show his actual prowess in the show. It's in the personality, after all. He doesn't get too involved with the story and its events, but given that he's trained Kenshin and how he demolishes all competition when he does show up, it's clear as day that Hiko Seijuro is the most powerful character in Rurouni Kenshin.
I know that. I thought it was just MCs. That's why I said Kenshin.
How about moving to something more modern?
King Bradley.
FMA's
How
been
the
around for
fuck
almost
I
2
forget
decades
you?
now? Anyway,
Damn.
King Bradley.
I forgot about King Bradley.
Ah, the unstoppable King Bradley, owner of the all-seeing ultimate eye. But a broken ability does not a badass and overpowered swordsman make. For all the hype behind the powers of precognition, King Bradley as both a character and a fighter isn't solely defined by it. If it were me, I'd say that King Bradley strikes fear in the hearts of enemies due to his sheer skill in swordsmanship. Being a homunculus, he naturally has augmented physical abilities, agility, reflexes, all of that sort of stuff. He's not the biggest powerhouse the series has to offer, but he's by far one of the best duelists here, being able to turn numbers disadvantages into easy and memorable wins. Then you remember that ultimate eye I talked about? That more or less brings everything over the edge, and you can see how Bradley has maintained his hold over power for so long. It makes
FMAB was so
all
good.
the more cathartic and built Scar up
It was so
much.
good. I have to rewatch it. FMAB was really so fucking
We couldn't
good.
have this list without Guts too.
How I forget? What the fuck? How I forget Guts? Damn. forgot.
Guts is just the type of character that oozes badass, edgy energy with his every movement.
Said,
the design speaks for itself,
this
and
anime
he
needs
seamlessly in
another.
the gritty, no-nonsense storytelling.
This
that
anime
Berserk
needs
gives
better
us.
work.
I don't exactly know where to start with Guts because he just has so many moments worth talking about in the show. Probably the most popular amongst them is the one where he defeats 100 soldiers, a shining moment where he not only shows off his power, but his durability as well. Berserk's filled with badass characters, but none of them embody the word as much as Guts himself. Among the characters we've covered so far,
I'm
he's
kinda
by
mad I
far
forgot
the
about Guts.
perfect raid boss, a pure juggernaut of power and hardiness. Afro Samurai's a cool one too.
There we go. There we go. I knew I was right. I knew I was fucking right. The nigga
Afro
ride.
Samurai is not too known, but who else can get a short anime series all meant to show how awesome he is? Yet the whole premise of Afro Samurai is his quest to be the strongest and how amazing.
I mean, if he be on the list, you know, we can go even crazier, you know.
He is in the road to glory.
But I already
From the
knew.
get-go, we get treated to a one-man army moment after another in a series that pulls no punches in depicting violence and how unstoppable Afro really is. In terms of having strength that's just impossible to wrap our heads around, I admit that Afro falls a bit short compared to someone like King Bradley, but that doesn't detract from how overpowered and badass he is. This is something you must see to believe. So head on over, start watching the show's 5 episodes, and be dazzled at the might of Afro Samurai.
That guy, bro. Afro Samurai, that guy, bro. Y'all sleeping if he not. And took his head.
Leech's poster child for overpowered swordsman.
Kenpachi. I was right again. Kenpachi is so fucking OP, bro. I'm glad when Bleach come. Yo, I'll be so glad when Bleach come back.
Wanted to give the title
I'll be
to
so
Aizen
glad.
or Yuha from the upcoming 1000-year Blood War arc. However, the latter's manga exclusive for now, and the former feels like a mage in terms of fighting. However, in honest, brutal, no-holds-barred sword fights, without delving into the manga-only spoiler territory for to-be-revealed swordsmen and swordswomen, few can come close to Kenpachi. Kenpachi is the series' definition of an overpowered monster that's virtually impossible to stop. Whereas most Shinigami use magical powers from their swords, Kenpachi just prefers to face his battles head-on. Direct combat and getting down and dirty is his jam, and if we're going to let the anime's combat record speak, it's a pretty damn effective tactic, isn't it? Kenpachi hasn't really lost a single fight so far. Will the 1000-year Blood War arc be finally when Kenpachi finds his match? Let's wait and see.
I can't wait till it come back. And I say they better fully animate every single thing. I don't want to wait for one episode to drop weekly. Just animate it and drop everything. Just drop everything on Netflix or something. Like, bro, I'm trying to see them episodes constantly, bro. If y'all have to, dub this shit as well.
Does Levi count? Well, he's pretty overpowered as they come.
I said Levi. I mean, pretty much, Levi's a walking blade. Look at that shit. That man is a walking blade. Of course he counts.
Soldier for nothing. It's been almost a decade since Levi first graced our screens with his jaw-dropping feats, and it's great that he's still going strong. He's still as overpowered as they come,
Wow.
and even in the latter seasons of Attack on Titan, you can see that he's pretty much a one-man army. Some people even go as far as to say that he's the one person single-handedly keeping the balance of power between humanity and Titans in check. We all know that Eren's the big star in the finale of Attack on Titan, but Levi's left quite a legacy in his wake. His Zeke battles are moments immortalized in every Attack on Titan fans' lives. And
that was a
everyone
good
knows how
fight.
epic
That wasn't even a
seeing
fight. It
him
was a
slice and dice his
slaughterhouse,
way
if you
to
want to,
Titans will
put it like
always
that.
be.
That was a slaughterhouse. Look at him. He's a walking fucking blade, bro.
But hey,
You can't
April
beat
is the
that,
start
bro.
of spring in Japan, so that means sakura, picnics, and flower viewing. It also leads to May, which is when the Japanese celebrate the prized first tea harvest of the year.
Alright, bro.
Why our
W-Ed,
sponsors
bro. W-Ed,
Sakurako
bro.
and Tokyo
I'm sorry,
Treats
bro.
are here to
W-Ed.
bring a double header for you. Sakura, King of the Sword, is Mihawk.
Mihawk. Okay, I should have said Mihawk. That's my fault. I said Zoro. I didn't say Mihawk. I forgot about Mihawk. But yeah, he poked him up with a literal butter knife from his necklace.
Reason to fear Mihawk, titled strongest swordsman in the world. His appearance alone strikes into his opponents a very powerful presence, but wait until you get to actually see what he's capable of. To wit, he's defeated Zoro handily, and you know you're pretty badass to have dueled with Shanks multiple times. With those credentials under his belt, seeing him lay waste to entire fleets of ships or flexing his power against gigantic icebergs does seem like child's play, don't you think? The kicker? All his feats are of his own abilities and strength. He has no devil fruit, but I wouldn't blame you if you thought that he had one really. Let's save the most insane of them all for last, Utsuro.
I said oh my god. I literally said mostly every anime on this list, but not the right character. I said Gintama.
In all my years of watching anime, I don't think that any anime swordsman comes close to Utsuro in terms of being overpowered. We're talking about a guy who can outright defy death here. Besides those gimmicks, Utsuro himself is as skilled as they come in combat. He's the type of person who would take on an entire protagonist party and come out on top without breaking a sweat. Considering how many top tier swordsmen Gintama has, I mean that's a feat by itself. But then you add all those immortality gimmicks, it's no wonder there's an entire arc about him wanting to die in a blaze of glory and having to take the whole universe with him. It does take a whole load of plot contrivances and combinations from the protagonists and allies to finally
really
put him down. That's just a testament to how broken he really is. Who amongst these swordsmen is the most overpowered and badass of them all? You tell me. If you're interested in connecting through social media, head on over to the Discord
I want to say
channel
Kenpachi, but I know in the manga Kenpachi met his match. I want to say Kenpachi met his match in the manga. Levi just a walking blade. I don't know. This list is kind of conflicting, but this was ViniTube. This is ViniTube list for his most overpowered swordsman. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pit two and two together when I get a chance to actually rethink what the hell I just watched. Yeah, this was Vass reactive video, most overpowered anime sword. Show ViniTube some love, my walking anime newsletter, brother. Like, comment, subscribe, do what y'all want to do. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.